Jeff Ulbrich is a moron. Let's get into it. Hey, what's going on? Matt O'Leary back with another video, and I am amped up about Jeff Ulbrich's comments from yesterday. Before we get started, just wanted to mention you can follow on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. If you haven't already, please make sure to check out the Just Jets podcast. New episodes drop every single Wednesday. You can call in, leave your reaction. We'll get to them on the show. And last but not least, this video is brought to you by BUSR, the official sportsbook of Matt O'Leary NY. Check out busr.com/Matt. Receive a match deposit bonus, an additional 25 casino chips. I will be placing some of my match deposit bonus on the New York Jets this week. I love them to upset the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll get into that more later, but today I want to focus on Jeff Ulbrich. And you know what? Let's just roll the video so you can see for yourself.
That is the instinct for sure. You know, there's like these critical moments in game and why is Quinnen not out there? You know, and you look to the side and he's gasping for air, you know, so just got to be judicious with it. Got to absolutely use him as much as we can and as much as we can in critical moments for sure, you know, but I still think there has to be a level of rotation. He plays at such a high clip and he goes so hard that sometimes more is less, or more isn't necessarily as good, because now you're not seeing the speed, the explosiveness, all the special stuff from an athletic standpoint that he brings.
Without Quincy out there, what do you...
I mean, anytime you can throw your young blossoming star under the bus, you just have to do it. What is that? Quinnen Williams, just... how do you not take that as an insult? He's like, oh, yeah, on big plays, we're looking. Where's Quinnen? He's on sucking for air on the side. No. Number one, I don't buy that. That's him trying to push the narrative that they need this rotation, which we're going to get into in a second. But the way that they rotate the line is beyond frustrating. They don't have their best players on the field nearly enough. They are not good enough to have Jacob Martin playing the amount of snaps that he is, to have Nathan Shepard playing the amount of snaps. They need their front four guys and the mix of Michael Clemens, who should be on the field more, Bryce Huff, who should be active and on the field more, like Jermaine Johnson, like all of them. It's so beyond frustrating. It's what he's doing is trying to hit home why they need this rotation. He is so stubborn. That's the issue that I have, is he is so stubborn. And he talks about, you know, playing to their, you know, the defense strength. We'll get into that quote in a little bit, but like, I'm trying to put this in perspective for you guys, because I sometimes I get pushback on Twitter where it's like, yeah, well, you know, interior defensive linemen, they could only go so many snaps in a row and you really got to keep them fresh, which I get that. I'm not saying play them on the field 99% of the time or 100% of the time, whatever it is. But 63% of snaps is far too low. I'll give you some comparisons. How about that? We'll go through some comparisons this year, and then we'll look at the 49ers under Robert Saleh and some of their snap percentages and why this just feels way, way, way off. They need to play significantly more. Aaron Donald, no one's touching. He is 92% of snaps. I am not asking Quinnen Williams to be on the field 92% of the time. That seems unrealistic, but it can be done by freak athletes. But how about guys like, I don't know, Grady Jarrett, 79%, Chris Jones, 74%, Jeffrey Simmons, 81%. There is no reason that Quinnen Williams can't be playing 75 to 80% of the snaps. Not a single one. Not a single one. And people are going to point to, well, what about that system? Like, this is just what Robert Saleh does. It's also got to be on him, no? I guess a little bit, because he's overseeing everything, but like, go back to 2019. That was the team, obviously, that worked out the best. They had a great defense. They go to the Super Bowl. DeForest Buckner, interior defensive lineman, right? 79% of the snaps that year. And like, how about, like, obviously this is edge rusher, so a little bit different, but we know that Carl Lawson's not getting that number of snaps. We know that Jermaine Johnson's not getting a ton of snaps. Eric Armstead got 75%. Nick Bosa, as a rookie, was getting 76% of the snaps. And Quinnen Williams, who is your best player on the defensive line right now, is getting 63. 63. I don't get it. I'm genuinely at a loss. I can't comprehend why it's so low. And once again, I am not asking for their front four to be on the field 100% of the time. That is unrealistic. Even Aaron Donald's 92% is probably unrealistic. But between 75, 80%, there's no reason that your top guys can't be on the field 75, 80% of the time. That's a big difference. Do you know how many plays that is per game that gets a bump up? And Quinnen Williams has been arguably the second most effective pass rusher on the interior besides Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald's off the charts because he's a freak. He's arguably the best defensive player all time. He's so high up on the list of all-time defensive players. He is an outlier. But Quinnen Williams, is his double team rate versus his win rate, it's just, how can you not put him on the field more? And in the past, have some Jet fans overrated Quinnen Williams? Probably. I feel Quinnen's such a weird one because I feel like there's a section of the fans that at times overrate him, and then there's another portion who think he stinks and he's also underrated. It's very bizarre, the relationship with Quinnen Williams and the fans. I feel like a lot of people either overrate him or underrate him. But the point is, he is a very, very, very good football player. And the Jets are not good enough to keep their very, very, very good football players off the field. And then how about this other quote that he goes on to say? This Connor Hughes quoted this one on Twitter, but he says, Jeff Ulbrich said, Jets defense still figuring itself out. What works, what doesn't. You adjust scheme accordingly to strength of players. He compared it to New England and Bill Belichick, where they were times the Patriots didn't get it all together and know what they had until week 8. Jets can't afford. I mean, it's been 20 games. I know that you have some new guys in here, but that I don't want to hear that answer. When you were 32nd last year and you have an influx of talent and you're still a bottom 5 defense. I don't. Anytime, especially like the last month, that Ulbrich or Salah opens their mouth in front of a camera and a microphone, things just seem to get worse. They are digging themselves a bigger hole. They're doing themselves no favors by some of the answers to these questions. And that's just another example. You can't. I hated the answer with Quinnen Williams in the video that I played. There were some people who just defended it. I don't know if it's Ulbrich burners or just yes men to this coaching staff for some reason. Like, what have they given you that you are putting that much faith and that much credit into them that whatever they say goes? F that, man. They haven't proved a damn thing. So I don't get that one at all, but can't convince it or please everybody. So it's tough. It's really, really tough. So I don't know. I got nothing else. Let me know in the comments down below or on social media what your thoughts are on Ulbrich. Not a popular guy right now, obviously. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, share it with a friend or someone you hate, as long as it's just a Jet fan. I appreciate all the love and support from you guys. Thank you so much. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.
Wow.